Today I'm going to share with you 2 tips that I just shared with a whole bunch of brand new trad archers. And tip number 1 comes from the man, Darth Vader himself. Let's get started. Hey, Joe McClain here from CatholicHack.com, where I live my life for God, and I am passionate about traditional archery. And as you can see, this is not one of my normal videos, and I apologize for that. But it's been a busy week. The demands of family life and work are pretty demanding, and so maintaining that video per week schedule can be hard. So I thought this week, during my lunch break, I'm going to fake it a bit, pull out the laptop, and just share with you these 2 techniques, these 2 tips that I shared with a whole bunch of brand new trad archers. I was at an Into the Wild retreat weekend up at Fort Parker State Park here in Texas. Now, that's a retreat hosted by the King's Men, a Catholic Christian apostolate based in North Philly. They do a whole bunch of outdoor activities for guys. There's talks on leader, protector, provider, orienteering through the woods, fishing, self-defense, archery, fire building, a whole bunch of stuff. And I got to give a talk on leader, protector, provider. I also gave the instruction on archery, which was a lot of fun because it was 2012 Allegheny State Park in Buffalo that I went to an Into the Wild and got the archery bug myself. So I was one of these guys, and now here I am giving back, and I am super pumped about that. So yeah, we had a bunch of guys who had never shot before, so I had to find some tips and techniques where I could communicate form to them fairly quickly and intuitively so that they could start picking up that bow and start flinging arrows downrange. And tip number 1 comes from Darth Vader himself. You know, helping them to think this through quickly and just kind of get it. You know, Darth Vader in his force choke maneuver, right? And where he's choking people using the force. Well, everybody's seen Star Wars. They know what this looks like, right? So it made a lot of sense to them. So with the bow hand grip, they are, just like Darth Vader, you know, extending their arm towards their target, and they're exposing that palm, right? We're doing the same thing with the bow. We're pushing the bow out towards our target. We're sort of pushing that bottom of the palm of our hand right there. But check this out, right here, this little crook right here between the forefinger and the thumb. That arrow is going to sit on that shelf right above that point. It's kind of like an aiming technique to push right towards your desired impact point. The arrow is going to come right there with it. So you can push out towards there, and this is going to sit right over your dominant eye, or rather your dominant eye is going to sit right over this, and you're just letting arrows fly right towards your impact point. A couple of other things to go along with that, though. Number 1, don't death grip your bow, because when you do, you're gonna move your bow around a lot because of all that muscle tension in your arm, and it's just going to make the accuracy a lot worse. So relax. In fact, I tend to use just that forefinger and that thumb to hold the bow in place. I like to bend my elbow to get that forearm out of the way of the string slap, because that string hits it, and boy, does it hurt. And you learn the lesson the hard way, right? So bend that elbow, get that elbow back, push your palm out towards your target, and you're going to find that bow hand grip can really go a long way in helping you get some consistency and some accuracy. Tip number 2 was I had one guy who picked it up fairly quickly. I gave him the bow. We went over the form. He shot some arrows. I made some adjustments. And what I noticed was he was grouping his arrows pretty well, and I was impressed. Now, he wasn't hitting the bullseye. He was aiming for the bullseye, but he was hitting high and right. I stopped everybody, brought them over, and I used this as an example. It's more important that you group your arrows than if you get it into the bullseye. Why do I say that? Because you could shoot a bullseye, but then the next arrow goes off to left field. It doesn't do you any good. If you're not grouping arrows, that means you are not achieving consistency with form. If you are grouping arrows, that means you do have form consistency, and all you need to do there is make an adjustment on how you're aiming, and boom, you'll get those arrows right where you want them. So for this gentleman, all I did was I told him to stop aiming at the center ring. Instead, aim into the lower left corner of the target. He let an arrow fly, and he went right to the bullseye, just like that, because he had form consistency. So try that. If you're brand new to traditional archery, you know what? You want to go for the group. not the accuracy. Trust me, you're going to get the accuracy anyway. You get good form, you get good accuracy. It's just that simple. So I would love to know from you, especially if you've been shooting a while. This is a traditional archery community, so we share. We become better together as traditional archers when we share our knowledge with each other. So you comment below with the tips and techniques that you use, especially on bow hand grip. I'd love to know how you set up your bow hand grip. I did a video about a year and a half ago. I linked to it in the description box below called Experimenting with the Bow Hand, where I didn't grip at all. I simply left my hand wide open until I released that arrow. Then I gripped the bow. And what happened was I gave that arrow the least amount of input from my body as possible. And I had some pretty good success with it. But there is a risk that you will anticipate the release and grip too soon, and you're going to end up throwing your shot off. But I do encourage you to check out that video and maybe experiment with it yourself. You never know. But either way, let me know in the comment box below what you are doing with the bow hand grip, because I would love to know more from you. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. As I mentioned, I'm trying to do a video a week. It's going to be a little hard, for me to maintain that, but I am attempting that, and I appreciate your prayers in the process. If you can throw me a couple of bucks over on Patreon, linked below, then I would greatly appreciate that. I plan to use that money to hire a video editor, an assistant who can help me do a lot of the heavy lifting on producing these videos once the video is shot, and that will greatly assist me in maintaining the 1 per week schedule. If not more, it'd be great to do more than that as well. But I'm really excited that you're a part of this community, and I appreciate you watching, and I'm praying for you that you shoot straight. I hope you pray for me that I shoot straight, and until the next video, may God richly bless you. I am your father. No! Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. I am your father. Darth Vader's the man. Thanks for watching.